I'm going to show you how you can give your matching game some extra protection by saving it with a password. So what you can do is when you are going to save it as a PowerPoint show, you go Control-Shift-S as normal, and that opens up the Save As window, and then you're going to put in your name and change it to PPSX. And then what you're going to do is you're going to go over here to Tools and General Options. Now this is the method you're going to use on the PC. On the Mac it works a little bit differently, so I just need to show that to you or explain it to you. I can't really show it to you, but I can explain it to you. But on a PC you go over here to Tools and then General Options, and then over here you'll see that you have two options for passwords. So you can have password to open. Now that's not the one we want, because if we put a password to open, then somebody wanting to play the game will need to put a password in before they can play the game, and they won't know what the password is. So that's not the one that we want. The one we want is the one that is to modify, so the password to modify. So I'm just going to put in a very simple password over there, and then anytime they want to open this in PowerPoint to modify, they would need to put that in. So we can click OK, and then you need to just confirm that, and then you can save it. And we're going to click yes to say we're taking out the macros. Okay, so once that is done, now let's close this, and if I go and open it over here, just normally you'll see that it opens up fine. So they would be able to open it and play it, and everything works as it's supposed to, and so on. Okay, so they're able to play as normal. Okay, now if, however, they are going to try and open it from within PowerPoint, because they can actually, it can be opened from within PowerPoint. So if you open PowerPoint on its own, and then over here you can open it within PowerPoint, or if they already had PowerPoint open, they could go to File, Open, and then they could open it from there as well. And then it would open it up into editing mode. But you can see over here it has now brought up this thing asking for the password. So they would need to know the password to be able to open it. So if they don't know the password, they would only be able to click on Read Only. So if they click on Read Only, you can see now it opens up in editing mode. But what I have done for you is I've made it so they can't select anything here, because what I've actually done is I have put a transparent shape over this, which means that they can't access anything underneath it. So if they were to try to copy anything, if they try to select that and right click on it, then if they click copy over there, then if they come over here and in new presentation they paste, you'll see that they didn't manage to paste what they copied from there, because actually this is the last thing that I copied from a different presentation. It was entirely different. They were not able to actually copy anything over here, and in fact if they could, it would just be a transparent shape anyway, because that is what they are selecting over here, because that is what I have put on top of everything else here. It's a transparent shape. A transparent shape that in the presentation hasn't appeared, and it won't appear because the trigger for it is hidden behind other things. So if I go over here to the selection pane and show you, so what is selected over here is the clip art protection, which is just a transparent shape on top here. And right at the bottom, underneath it, is the fake trigger, which is actually the trigger for that clip art protection. And it can't be accessed because it is covered by another one over here, which is also transparent. All of these are transparent, and this is the trigger that would trigger that one to appear, but this can't be triggered because that one is covered by this. So there's no way that this will get in the way of them playing, but in editing mode it is now covering everything so they cannot access anything at all. So all of the clip art that you have put in here, everything that you've put in is protected by that transparent shape that is on top of it. The only thing that they can access is the background. What they can do is, so if I go over here and I try and save as picture, that also won't work. So if I go save as picture, and let's just save it as picture 1, let's just replace that. Then if I go and show that to you, over here in pictures, there, picture 1 is now just a transparent shape, because that is what I told you is there. And they can't access anything else to try and save it as a picture. But what they can do is they can access the background. So just so you are aware, they can save the background as a picture. So I'm going to save that as picture 2. And then you can see over here, picture 2 is the one that we just saved over there. So they can access the background. There's no way that I have of protecting you, of helping you to protect the background. But I have made sure that everything else in your presentation will be protected, so long as you have protected it with a password. Now, if you are on a Mac, like I said, it works a little bit differently. From what I can gather, I don't have a Mac myself, but from my research, what I understand is that when you're saving it, you don't get that same option of having the tools and being able to save it from there. But on a Mac, what you would do is you would click on File, and then there's an option called Passwords, and you click on Passwords, and there you get both of the options that I had as well. So like over here, when I had Save As, I had the option in General Options. I had Password to Open and Password to Modify. So on a Mac, from what I can tell, if you click on File and you go down to Passwords and you click on Passwords, you get both of those same options as well. A password to open and a password to modify. And same thing, you would add the password to modify so that they would not be able to just open it up in PowerPoint in editing mode and then access anything that you have. If they did put in the password, if they did know the password, so let me just close this, I don't need that anymore. So now I'm going to open this again. I'm going to open it in PowerPoint. Okay, but this time I'm going to put in the password. So if they knew the password, so if you want to get into it again, you know the password. Let me show you now what I was talking about. So here, this is the first transparent shape. This is the one that is protecting everything. It is right on top of everything else. Nothing else can be accessed behind it. Okay, now this one is the one that is protecting the trigger for your protective cover. It is second to last on the slide, and then right at the back is the trigger that would make this one appear. But because it is hidden behind that one, this one will never be able to appear. So it won't get in the way while they're playing, but it does get in the way of anyone wanting to steal any of the clip art or change anything in your presentation, in your game at all. Okay, so that is what is happening over there. And because you have got a password protecting it, they would need to know that password in order to be able to access anything there. Okay, so I hope that that has been helpful. I hope that it'll put your mind at rest. The only thing, like I said, is I have no way of making the background protected. So what you would need to do for the background is make sure that you have already modified the clip art that you are using for the background or something, so that you are abiding by the clip artist's terms of use. Have a fantastic day. Goodbye.